start the show with the Los Angeles Lakers. Going into the game, the Pacers had lost 4 in a row, and here come the Lakers. Lakers going to win this one. Nope. Karis LeVert had 22 in the fourth quarter. Some of those were on Russell Westbrook, who was asked to sit down on the bench to close out the game.
Pull over!
Mr.
Pull
Rose,
over!
how do you feel about Mr. Westbrook being asked to take a seat for the final 3 minutes and change of this
I'm
one?
not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. I'm not mad at those Pacer uniforms, but they ain't got nothing on the pinstripe ones we wore. With that being said, who didn't see this coming?
I didn't see this coming. I didn't know they would bench him in a close game in the fourth quarter.
If you can't make perimeter shots and you can't make layups and you turn the basketball over and we're still trying to win the game, you have to come sit over here next to me. That's just how sports work.
Also, according to our colleague Dave McMenamin, he got some information saying that there was a scouting report on LeVert saying that he goes right to take away his right hand, and he was going right past Russell Westbrook to his right, which is really what led to him being taken out of the game.
Well, now, I can look deeper into that box score. Shout out to our guy, Dave. Every time somebody scores in an NBA game, they score past somebody. So I ain't even about to even, as somebody that's not known for his defense, everybody who didn't play, trust me, they scored how many points yesterday? At least 90 or 100.
Yeah.
They were on somebody besides Russ. That is because of how he's struggling offensively. Yes, you put him on the bench when Karis LeVert is scoring on him. But Karis LeVert is a 20-point scorer. He scores 20 points every night.
22 in the fourth quarter.
Okay? And so, yes, it's disappointing the effort that Russ showed on that end of the floor. But if he was able to make plays offensively, be in the game. Mm-hmm. And so, what's next? Here's what's next. Get used to that. That's how the game works. Like, so many people look at sports and think everybody gets the LeBron, KD, Steph Curry journey, where they get to play 35, 40 minutes, be all NBA, and NBA in the MVP conversation. Like, there's a reason why these guys are all-time greats. And then it's everybody else. People have to adjust their roles. And one of the things I see now in Russ, he's played with all of the top players in the game. Mm-hmm. When he was young, he played with KD and Harden, played with Harden again in Houston. He's played with Paul George. He's played with Sabonis.
Beal.
Played with Bradley Beal. Now he's playing with LeBron James. The difference in this situation versus all of those other situations is his role is continuing to diminish. And when you go from being the guy in OKC, where they probably gonna give you a statue, may still should, till now playing a role with the Lakers, you ain't got no room for error. When I was playing with Bird in '98, y'all was watching The Last Dance and everybody was loving MJ. Larry pulled me to the side. He was like, if he's scoring you twice, I'm taking you out. I'm like, it's Michael Jordan. He gonna score on me.
Hold scoreless.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, he knows he's gonna score on me. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like for Russ, when he's struggling, they're gonna bench him. They're not gonna look at him as, oh, that's Russell Westbrook. He's back home now. And another thing about Russ and Melo, I'm gonna put Melo in this because he returned yesterday. He really struggled mightily defensively in that game too.
Yes.
They're not going to get the post-play for the Lakers happiness that many people get. A lot of people are going to remember their Hall of Fame careers, but Lakers fans ain't going to necessarily be happy that they were wearing those uniforms. You know why? Because they're not going to win a championship in it. And that's what they're looking for every time they see the purple and gold.
Just worth mentioning, Joel Embiid and LeBron James, every time they're on the court, they get 30 points. LeBron James, he's averaging 29 points something. Like, LeBron James scored 30 in this one too. He is having an MVP caliber season. However, his team is below 500 and lost 4 or 5.
But the thing is about their journey, Jacoby, we've gotten so to the point where we feel like it's a rite of passage for the best player to always be on the best team. That ain't the case. Michael Jordan spoiled us. Bill Russell spoiled us. LeBron is playing excellent this year. He ain't win a championship. And that's okay. The Lakers have already invested in the LeBron James AD championship. To keep LeBron and AD and THT, and to add Russ, you lose Kuzma, you lose Caruso, you lose Ball, you lose
ACP,
you lose Ingram. To start the process, you lose Randall. Like, these are all things you do to invest in that bubble championship.
got it.
They got it.
So why am I crazy? We're going to move on. Why am I crazy to think that even with all of this, a healthy AD, a healthy LeBron, Westbrook finding his role, this team is still a team that is a threat to win the West?
Here's why. I got a pecking order for you. In the West, to me, Warriors, Suns, different category. And then now I'm looking at how Memphis is playing and how Utah the last couple of years has consistently playing. They're right there. But here's why your question is really important. The Lakers healthy were playing against Memphis or the Utah Jazz in the playoffs with the way LeBron James is playing. I'm picking the Lakers.
Picking the Lakers too. And I think it's also, before we move on, worth mentioning the Mavs.
That's why.
They've been playing well lately as well.
But that's why.
Yeah, and then you get into 7-game series with a healthy AD and LeBron, and Westbrook can figure out his role. It's not. I saw this thing that said there's 46% chance they make the playoffs. I'm like, make the playoffs? This team is going to make the playoffs.
The head coach of Memphis, Taylor Jenkins, and a guy who's come out of practically nowhere and played really well, Desmond Bain. They will tell you why they're underdogs against the Lakers, LeBron and AD. Because they've been there, done that. That's just how the game goes.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.